Madam Speaker, COVID-19 has been the most significant health crisis in the world since the Spanish flu over 100 years ago. We should never allow such a devastating crisis to, in a sense, go to waste. We should never allow such a devastating crisis not to teach us lessons. As we work towards recovery and to building back stronger, we need to assess, we need to work together on both sides of the aisle, and frankly speaking, we need to ask the good Lord to give us guidance so that we provide the leadership at all levels. In the coming months, we are going to have to embark on the largest mobilization program as it relates to vaccines. Now, I haven't gone into vaccines and so on because we talk about it every week. I have a COVID press brief with my team every week. But strategically, from a policy perspective, we are going to get out of this if we get...
From a policy perspective, what does that mean? Does it mean that they're going to create policies around this, effort to ensure that all Jamaicans are vaccinated? What does that mean?
Get the country behind us. And I know where my Prime Minister is because he has called for that several times. I'm saying to my opposite and the colleagues on this side, this country, if it is to pull through the COVID pandemic and move forward to provide the opportunities for the people, we're going to have to work together around.
Move forward to provide the opportunities for the people? What opportunities? So that they get vaccinated? Or I'm not sure what he's talking about, because the emphasis on creating opportunities for people, I'm not understanding it. Like, what does the vaccine have to do with opportunities for people? Because I fail to see how vaccines are going to open doors for people all of a sudden. Opportunities to get it, because I know they said that Africa and impoverished areas in the world or people are going to get priority in getting this thing. But the only question I have is that once they get this, what opportunities is going to be available to them? Not sure I understand what he's saying. It's a bit vague.
This vaccine thing. We're going to have to get every Jamaican who is cynical, every conspiracy theorist who's not sure what they're talking about, but they're talking anyway, to understand.
What does conspiracy theorist mean? I'm not sure I understand it, because in the past I thought conspiracy theorists were people who were talking foolishness, people who were, putting information out in the world that was false. But from what I'm seeing, I'm hearing a lot of people say things like doctors and, different people who are involved in the science world said things and they were referred to as conspiracy theorists. But then later on, some of the things that they said, for example, things being in a mask that could affect somebody's lungs. I heard that on the news. I've read articles. I've heard government officials come out and warn people that this was happening. And they were also referred to as conspiracy theorists. So I'm not sure exactly what that word means anymore. If anyone knows what that word means, perhaps in the comment section you can tell me, because it's unclear. But there's a bit of arrogance in the way he's speaking. Now, let's continue.
Appreciate that this is the only way forward.
Okay, so, the vaccinations is the only way forward. The one issue I have with this, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not an anti-vax person. My children have been vaccinated, except for the last one who has severe allergies and so on. She was not able to get some of those vaccines because it had eggs and other ingredients in there that she was severely allergic to and had to use an EpiPen. To this day, we have to be very careful about certain foods that she come in contact with. So anyway, I've gone on the CDC website and I've read articles there. For example, let's see if I can find. I'm trying not to make this too long, But anyway, go to the CDC for yourself and you'll clearly see that there's notes there. For example, let's look at this one. Let me turn the camera this way. And it says Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine have been recommended for use. CDC and FDA have recommended it for use. However, women younger, see if we can focus here. Women younger than 50 years old, especially, should be aware of the rare risk of blood clots and low platelets after vaccination, and that other COVID-19 vaccines are available where the risk has not been seen. So it didn't say there's no risk. It says has not been seen. This is the CDC website, people. And this is an example that show that they're rare. They're rare, but because it's rare doesn't mean that you shouldn't be concerned, because you don't know if you're going to fall in the percentage of the rare. So I like the fact that CDC is putting that information out there for you to know. You have the information and then you can make the decision. But what I'm seeing in Jamaica, I'm not hearing about these risks. I'm hearing the risks being brushed off, glazed over, people being insulted, people who are showing genuine concern. The fact that people are showing genuine concern and these individuals, especially someone who's a minister of education, is going to deal with it that way, it's very scary for somebody like myself. If you are a medical person and you're in the Ministry of Health, you should not gloss over person's concern. You shouldn't be so disrespectful about people's concern. They have every right to question what's going to happen, because when they take something, if and when they take something and there's an adverse reaction, you can't reverse that. If you go to VAERS, which is a site that the CDC is requiring medical health people to report any case where there's adverse reaction. In the CDC site, it also says that if you get one dose of any vaccine and have an adverse reaction to it, you should not take the second one. So they're accounting for these things. They're acknowledging these things. They're not denying these things. And you also have a protection for the vaccine makers to say that if anything happens, nobody can sue them. So the fact that, this is so new and there's so many questions, I don't think a government or any minister of health or medical practitioner should be so disrespectful to be dismissing people's concern. And so I do not say don't take, because I never want to force my opinion on anybody. I'm just making this video because I'm saying the government in Jamaica need to be more responsible and put the facts out there and allow individuals to make their decision based on the facts, based on what they know for a fact. This is new. A lot of people who are also in the medical field know that this is new and that research is ongoing. And so, there's a fear that there's all these different, levels of virus are going to come if we don't take care of it right away. And these variants, I wanted to say, and I can understand that, because everybody, I think most people want this to be over and want to go back to their lives. And so if they think this is going to end this terrible crisis in the world, of course people are going to go for it, but they need the facts. They need the information so that they can make the right one for themselves. So I'd encourage you to go to the CDC website and look at the VAERS and look at the reports and, and listen to people's concerns and not push it aside and say, this person is an idiot. They don't know what they're talking about. It's disrespectful. Because what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, if you don't do the research and if you don't value your own body to say what I put into my body, and I want to be able to know what I'm doing and what I'm getting and looking at the possibly long-term effect and so on and so forth, then what can I say? If you don't care to do the research for yourself, Why should someone else? But I'm thinking someone needs to speak to the Jamaican government about how they're having this broad paintbrush and just saying these things and almost this sort of bully like. I'm not sure I like the way it's been presented to people. People want it to be over. People want to be safe. I'm sure there's nobody who's saying, I don't want to be safe or I don't want this to be over. But the attitude and the sarcasm, I don't know, people. Do your own research and you determine what is best for you. Stay blessed, everyone.